Over the past year, I've been finding the oldest builds in Minecraft history, some of them dating back to 2010. That's 15 years ago, probably older than some of you watching. I've upgraded over 20 of these builds and stored them on my upgrade island. So, let's go through and look at all of the upgrades that I've done. Here is a Facebook logo that someone made in 2010. I'm just editing this and I realized, does anyone even use Facebook anymore? And as you can see, it's kind of old. So I think we can burn this for now. Actually, wait, no, I want to compare it at the end. Never mind. So to build the new Facebook logo, I think we need light blue concrete as the main color. And I think this one's pretty easy to build. So this is the circle, even though I think it might be a bit squished. Oh well. And we're just going to go in with some white concrete. And then the middle part of the F probably goes around here. So that's already looking kind of better. So this is one of the oldest TNT cannons that I can find in Minecraft. And I guess you come up here to access the actual cannon. And there's the prime cannon button, which loads this set of redstone. And then I presume you put the payload here. So we'll see how this goes. So I guess we prime the cannon first and then prime the shot. Cool, but it looks pretty ugly, and I'm pretty sure we can make something a bit cooler. With all these builds, I want to try and keep the exact same shape and sort of functions of the build, so that it's still recognizable, just modernized. And because it's a TNT cannon, which are pretty destructive, I think we're going to go for an evil villain's lair type aesthetic. And for that, we're going to get rid of the stone aesthetic and switch to black stone. And I think we'll make the glass to red stained glass. I also think iron bars make the whole build look a bit more evil, so we'll replace all the fences with those. It's already looking a lot more sinister. Also, no evil villain wants to have to walk up a ladder to get into their evil dungeon, so we'll put some stairs down. Also, I'm not really liking the whole legs. Obviously, it needs to stand on something, but these just look a bit thin. And what's more super powerful evil villain than having entire blocks of netherite as the legs for your base? Thinking about it, I didn't actually like the whole ladder system, so I think we're just going to remove it entirely. And now it's just got 4 big legs. I know it's looking a bit like a dog at the moment, but we'll make it get there. So now there's no way of actually getting to the base. But since the ladder was on this corner, and I kind of want to stick to the original foundations of the build, I am going to make a new way up on this side of the base. And first, we have to mine downwards. So I've dug this hole, and you might be wondering, why have I dug this hole? I mean, it's not very impressive. But if I've got this correct, we should be able to make something pretty cool going up here. So with the note block there and 2 redstone here, and then an iron block and a button here, and then we'll put an observer here with a slime block on top of it. Then we'll put 2 sticky pistons here and here. And I've removed the leg for now because it was getting in the way and I was getting confused. Then we're gonna do this with an observer here, and then a few iron blocks. Now, I'm no redstone genius, but if I've got this right, then... Oh! Well, anyway, so presuming this goes back down, which it does... Uh-oh. I seem to have broke it. So after some modifications, I'm pretty sure we now have a working elevator. It just looks quite ugly, but we'll fix that. So I won't lie, this has taken me absolutely ages, and it doesn't really fit the aesthetic of the other legs, so I guess we'll have to change those too. But I want to show you what we've got at the moment. Oh. Walk in here, you turn around, you press the button. And there we go, we're at the deck. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this beats the ladders. So this is what we have at the moment. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like the top. And even though the TNT cannon's cool, it's kind of outdated. So I think we can build something a bit better. So first things first, I'm going to remove all of this. You see, the old TNT cannon went into these tunnels here, where all the redstone was located. But I think I have a better idea. So I've hollowed out the middle here, and it is starting to look kind of different to how it used to look. But I think it's looking better. But now you're probably noticing that we're kind of lacking a TNT cannon. And I'm not very good at building them. But I'm going to give it a go anyway. So whilst the last one was pretty cool, I think we can definitely go a lot more explosive here. So this is what I have so far. If it works, cool. If it doesn't work, I think this world is probably going to blow up. Okay, look, it doesn't look like much right now, okay? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. But if this works, then it should be pretty destructive. Uh-oh. Well, they were exploding, but they weren't really flying anywhere. Okay, I think I fixed it, and this should do the job. Well, that was pretty cool. Nothing blew up. Okay. So now that's sorted, we can start making this look a bit more aesthetic. So like I've said before, I'm not amazing at building, but I like to think I've transformed the old build into something slightly cooler. Don't get me wrong, it's not great, but we'll start from the bottom. So I replaced the stick legs with these pillars, which I think look quite cool to be fair, with a bit of light there, and I kind of like the lava stuff on the inside as well, it's pretty cool. And then honestly, my favorite part of the entire build is probably the elevator. And remember, I did say I was modernizing these builds, not making them into artistic masterpieces. And I think an elevator instead of a ladder is pretty modern. Then we're on the control deck, which honestly, I probably could have finished off a bit nicer. There's a bit of a flag banner thing here, storage for the TNT, even though there's no TNT in here, but there you go. And then this, honestly, this just looks not great. But regardless of its appeal, it's pretty cool how it works. So with this on, and all the TNT cannons loaded, you simply flip the switch, and place that. And then we can run out onto the observation deck, and wow. Well, something went drastically wrong there and blew up the entire cannon. Yeah, we'll fix this up later. And from an explosive TNT cannon to a kind of explosive creeper with a Santa hat on? What are you doing down there? This is Creeper in winter. It's kind of a cute little pixel art creeper with a Santa hat on. I think it's meant to be for Christmas. And he's holding a torch and a hammer. But regardless, I think we can make something a lot more festive and also a lot more cool. And first things first, we're going to build an actual creeper. And I think this'll do. Yeah. This'll do nicely. So we've got the creeper outline, and we just need to make him look a bit more wintry. So I think we'll put a hat on him, and we'll start with the brim. And moving on to the actual hat itself. Okay, that's not looking bad. And for the final touch. Okay, that's not looking bad actually. I like that more than I thought I would. And this creeper has arms, which obviously creepers don't have arms, but I do feel like I should stick to the original concept. So we're gonna try and give him some arms now. And I won't lie, building is not my strong suit, as you've already seen with that thing over there. So this isn't going to be an easy task. I think I'm just gonna build the outline first, and then I'll bother with the detailing later. Okay, that's not too bad. Might make it a little bit longer. Actually, no, I won't make it longer, because this guy has very stumpy arms. So this guy's gonna have stumpy arms too. Now I just need to copy this arm over to this arm. Perfect. Now for the detailing. I don't really know how they've gone about this, so I'm just gonna place some random blocks everywhere. That doesn't look bad. In fact, it actually looks quite good. Now I need to see if I can replicate it for this side. It's not as good, but it'll do. And now I just need to do this all around the arms. And done. So here, this guy has a hammer and a torch. So let's start giving him his hammer. But instead of an iron hammer, I think we're going to give him a netherite one. Now that is a hammer. Arguably too big, but oh well. And there we go. The creeper has his hat and his hammer. Now he just needs his torch. So I think we're going to use shroom lights and then put some magma blocks on the end. That doesn't look bad. Might extend the shroom lights one more. Light grey stained glass to act as some smoke. With some darker stained glass near the bottom. And I think that looks pretty cool. So here's the original winter creeper built in 2011. And here's our creeper, which I just built. His hammer has been upgraded. His hat has been upgraded. And his torch has also been upgraded. And his entire body. Yeah. Pretty proud of this one, actually. Shouldn't have built it in line of the TNT cannon. But, I mean, I did blow it up before, so I don't think that's going to harm anyone. Now, moving on from our winter creeper, we're going to this thing. And if you're wondering what this is, I don't really blame you. And I'm not even sure how to get in without just breaking it. There we go. Well, I'm going to have to censor that. But this is a dragon egg storage temple, apparently. And its entire purpose is to store a dragon egg. And I won't lie, they've made a decent attempt. The outside definitely needs some brushing up though. And like I said earlier, I don't really want to mess with the overall point they were going for with the build. I know I kind of diverted from pixel art to a big 3D thing here, but that's not the point. But what we're definitely going to do is make this entire thing one shorter, because it's really annoying me how this isn't in the center. And unless you have 2 dragon eggs, it's never going to be in the center. And that's done. You might not be able to notice, but it is done. Then this egg is in the center. I do kind of like the whole lava thing they've gone for, so I'm not going to change that. But what I do need to do is sort of see how they've done this. Okay. There we go. Now that is centered. That took me quite a while, but honestly, worth it. The only problem now is this isn't centered, which is going to take me a while. And there we go. Okay, now this is all symmetrical as well. And boom, fully symmetrical. Apart from it's not, because they seem to have built it lava in this corner, but obsidian in this corner, which means I'll need to put obsidian in this corner, and that's going to be a long process, which I can't be bothered to do. So I'm just going to keep with their initial design of having lava in these corners and obsidian in these corners, which means I need to get digging. And we're finally looking sort of symmetrical. We'll leave the outside for last because it does look like a bit of a train wreck right now. Honestly, the dragon egg isn't even that hard to get anymore. I remember when Minecraft first came out, killing the Ender Dragon was genuinely difficult. Now people literally do it with beds. So, you know, I do feel like this room is a bit big for the prize at the end of it. But hey, I'm sure they are proud to get it, so we're going to make something worth showing it off. They've gone for an endstone and obsidian sort of combo here. But since they've built this, there have been a lot more things added to the game, which we could really use to spruce this thing up. We'll replace the torches with end rods because they're just a lot cooler. And we'll use some endstone bricks to spruce up the decoration a bit, because it is a bit bland in here. That's looking pretty cool for now. Now I've just placed this end crystal here, and I'm fairly certain if I punch it, it will explode. So I'm just going to test that over here. Uh-oh. Now, I really don't want this to explode, so I'm not sure the best way of getting around this. Okay, that actually worked. I'm going to remove these iron bars too, because I just don't feel like they're really needed. And what could actually be quite cool? This. Okay. I think this is looking a lot better already. I'm starting to realize whoever built this hasn't really got the dimensions perfectly in the middle, if that makes sense. So this side is a lot wider than this side, which sort of ruins what I was hoping to do with these end crystals. But I think we're going to keep these end crystals floating in each corner, because it just kind of looks very cool, you know? So this is already looking a lot cooler, if I say so myself. We are just missing something here, and something here. And that's where you come in. I want to revisit this video in a couple of months, and I want to add on some of your suggestions to the builds I've done today. Like I said, I'm really not the best at building, so hopefully with some of your suggestions, we can really make some of these look a lot cooler. But for now, you're stuck with what I can do, okay? So that's that for the inside for now. I'm pretty chuffed with how it turned out, to be honest. I think it's pretty similar to how it looked at the start. It just looks a lot neater and cooler with some of the items. Honestly, I just remembered one thing that I can't believe I almost forgot. And that's the dragon head. But I don't really know where to put it. It's quite dark at the front here, and there's not really anywhere where I think it would suit. So I think here is the best bet. So when you come up the stairs, that's the first thing you see, which looks pretty menacing. Now for the outside, because I don't think much has been done to this at all, really. I don't want to have to cover up the lava sources, obviously, on the corners. So for now, we'll just turn it into obsidian. In fact, I think we're just going to turn the whole thing into obsidian, because most of it is obsidian anyway. Then I'm going to go around placing these lights in the wall. I think that looks pretty good in front of the lava. And there we go. Next up, we're going to go old school. So we're going to be upgrading a house. This house was built in 2011, and as you can see, they could only really work with what they had. The blocks are pretty basic, but overall it's pretty cozy. This is the inside, this is the bedroom, and some storage up here. For this one, I'm not really going to change the shape at all. I think we're just gonna try and modernize it a bit, you know? First off, this glowstone isn't really lighting the place up enough, so we'll put a lantern here and a lantern here. I also thought it'd be kind of cool if we made a little bit of a table here and added another lantern in the bedroom, and we should add some sort of armor stand here, and that can be the sort of wardrobe. I do think this house would look really cool with a chimney, so that's what we're going to do. I think it would look cool if it was like here. And we're gonna make a deep slate one because I feel like it'll look nicer compared to normal brick. Don't know about you, but I think this looks pretty cool here. And doesn't look bad from the outside either. Although I kind of like this layered chimney. Looks pretty good. There we go. I'm also just going to put the chests here instead. And I wish there was something I could do here. Maybe something like that. Okay, I think this works quite well. Also, in this corner, you have to have a jukebox. That's enough of that. Plop. I do like what I've done so far. I think I'm just going to move this along one. Much better. And we'll have an anvil in this corner. Because in this version, there was probably just the crafting bench and the furnace. So we need to modernize it a bit, you know? I don't really know what to do with these walls because they're very bland. But I also can't knock them down because it's only one layer thick and it just might look a bit weird. What I could try to do though is to add a bit of texture on the inside. Still looks like that from the outside, but it looks a bit cooler, I think. Whilst I'm thinking about it as well, I'll add a composter to the garden. Put that there. There you go. Always compost your flowers. I guess they can wave some sort of banner up there. Does that look a bit dumb? Probably. Completely forgot to put a flower in here. There we go. That looks nice. Hey, creeper. And I'll put a cool pot in the corner there. What are you doing here? Go away, man. I really want to put a bookcase somewhere, but I'm struggling to find where to... I can see you, mate. I can see your ropes. Will you leave me alone now, please? Don't come back here. Go. I did warn him. We can also put a couple of rose bushes about, and a bit of a bush here. There's also a lot more types of flowers now compared to what there were when they built this thing. So we'll go ahead and plant some. It's very much still lacking something from the outside though, and I can't really figure out what. I wonder if I do this. That still looks normal from there. How does that look? Oh, that looks better. Okay, so that adds a bit of texture. I'm going to add a couple of vines as well on this side. Make it look all naturey. Doesn't look like they have a gate in here either, so I'll add that. And then a dirt path to the door. So this is the finished product from the outside. I've really not changed that much, but I think I kind of want to keep it like this. And from the inside. And you know what? I don't mind it. Sometimes nice buildings don't need upgrading too much, just a touch of modernizing. So far in the video, we've modernized the Facebook logo, we've upgraded the TNT cannon base, even though it's sort of destroyed at the moment. We've turned our pixelated winter creeper into a fully fledged 3D abomination. And I think we've upgraded on this guy's Ender Egg Temple, while sort of sticking to his original design, as well as the house we just built. So this is my creation park, and I kind of want to carry on building here for future videos. That way we can probably get quite a few random builds just scattered in this area. But I also need to keep it safe, which brings us to our final build, a castle gate. Once again, built in 2011. This is pretty basic, but presuming it still works, it's kind of effective. So for this build, we're going to improve the aesthetics of it, but also improve the redstone mechanism itself. Because if I wanted to come through the gate on a camel, I wouldn't be able to fit. You stay there, Mr. Camel. So, first things first, we're going to upgrade this. Shut up. So to start this off, we are just going to completely obliterate the current mechanisms of the gate. Sort of pains me to do, but it's in the name of science. What the hell just died? So we're going to dig a hole like this, and we're going to make it 5 deep, which is kind of annoying. You know, I really don't have to do this, but you are starting to really annoy me, Camel. I feel immensely bad for doing that. Then we go down to the bottom of our hole, put 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Fill the rest with gravel. And then for the gate, I think we're going to use spruce fence because it kind of looks cool. Now it's time for some redstone, which I'm not very good at, but I'll try and get this right. And then we'll cover this up with some white concrete. Oh, god damn it. Tell you what, just in case that happens again, I'm going to put some sponges here. And then we're going to trail the redstone up here. We're going to put some more repeaters here that aren't on a delay. And then put another bit of concrete here with another redstone torch on it. And okay. I need to remember that you kind of had it in a staircase at the top. Now, we're going to stick with the same color of his wall, but go for stone bricks instead. So, if I put these here like this is where I'm going to have to destroy a lot of the old build. Then I'm going to place pistons like this, if I can get them in the right place. And then we're going to build up on this side and then across. This shouldn't be visible at the end. And then I can build across to these pistons and get these redstoned up as well. Which means, fingers crossed, we now have a working gate. So now we can cover this up and build this side. And I'm going to keep this white here just so you know where the buttons are. And then I'll just trim off the rest of the old build for now. And if we set the time to day, there we go. Not looking bad at the moment. Now I'm just going to cover up the back side. Now everything's finally symmetrical, and hopefully the gate still works. Oops. Cool. So now we have to turn this sort of shell into something like the gate that we originally had, which I guess for reference I'll put here. So already I think it's showing a lot more potential, and it's pretty cool how it works. And there we go. That is my castle gate. I forgot about the camel, but luckily I don't think it was going to fit through anyway, because it's still too small for him. I think that's a decent upgrade compared to the original, whilst keeping the medieval castle theme. So there we have it. I've upgraded 5 of the oldest builds I could find and tried to modernize them a bit and make them a bit better. And also a message to the players who made the original builds. It's been at least 13 years since you finished your project. I hope life is treating you well, and thank you for giving me the chance to experience a part of your childhood. And I hope I did it justice. I have a problem. The base I upgraded in my last video isn't accessible from my upgrade island. So I need to find a way to connect this area here to the old house over there. And I think I have a perfect solution. There we go. This is one of the oldest bridges that I could find in Minecraft. And as you can see, it's extremely basic. Stone, oak fences, oak planks, which were just fences and planks back in the day, and some torches. I think we can definitely make this a lot nicer, whilst also actually making it accessible, because how am I meant to get up there? I can't climb this. But like with the other videos in this series, I do want to keep some sort of element of the original design. Whether it's the functions, such as this old stone gate that you can close and open, that I recreated here, to a bit more of a fancy design. Or this creeper that's holding a hammer and a torch. Or, as a lot of you pointed out in the comments, probably a pickaxe and a shovel. Which I recreated here into the hammer and the torch that I initially thought it was. Either way, all these builds have to kind of look like their original design. And with the bridge, we're going to keep the exact same dimensions, and we're even going to keep the walkway here. But we're just going to make it look a lot more fancy and, functionable, because I can't climb it like I said before. What a dumb design. I am a sucker for quartz, so we're definitely going to use some quartz here. Okay, that works. And I'm going to get rid of this stone as well because I really don't like it, okay? And I'll put some half slabs here so it doesn't look as jagged. Okay, this isn't looking terrible. Hoping iron bars sort of work here. No, they don't. I'm going to try and put some polished black stone on this side of the wall. Okay, that looks pretty neat. I'm a bit worried that it's not going to go with the wood, but we'll come to that near the end. One of the biggest issues, in my opinion, with this bridge was, one, you couldn't get onto it, and two, it was too much of a right angle here. So we definitely need to try and improve that aspect of it. Now I'm going to link up the underside of the bridge, and there we go. That looks a lot more secure. I'm not fully certain on this sort of wooden safety post, but now it's on both sides. I actually think it looks pretty neat. Now for this side, which again, I'm going to get rid of the stone because it's ugly. I'm going to bring this all the way down into the water. And again, I'm going to do the sort of support beams underneath. And whilst I think of a cool way to get down from this bridge, let's move on to another build. Now, the problem is with my island of builds, when it gets dark, it's kind of hard to see. So I'm really hoping that our next build here can help with that. And this is the first automated lighthouse in Minecraft. Now, you might be wondering how it's automated exactly, because back in 2011, they didn't have daylight detectors. But this lighthouse just has a kind of cool little piston rotation that shows glowstone. And I'll show you the inside right now. I'm pretty sure if I was to destroy this, there we go. Now the lighthouse has stopped. And then as soon as I press this button, it's back on. Now, there's a few things I want to do with this lighthouse. And the first is change the color, because I don't really like this whole sandstone thing they've got going on. A lighthouse is meant to be red and white, so that's exactly what we're going to do. Using quartz blocks, because we need the quartz slabs for the half slabs, and red concrete. So, let's get going. Okay, that's the base done. We might have to use nether brick slabs as the red half slabs, because there's no bright red half block yet. This is going to take a while, but I think it will be worth it. Okay, I think this is looking better already. I need to replace the sandstone slabs in the middle, because you can still see them through the gaps at the moment. And there we go. And we need to replace the floor here with quartz. And luckily I have World Edit, so I can quickly do this and turn the whole thing white. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that looks a lot better. Now, there is a bit more I'd like to do here. First, I'd like to break through the roof and make that glass. Now, at the moment, there's glowstone going around the bottom here. But I just had a thought, because I wonder if I can replace this glowstone with redstone lamps that will only activate during nighttime. So at the moment, as you can see, they're not lit up. But with a daylight detector, and then maybe I'll put some glowstone in the corner because the redstone gets a bit tricky with the corners. And now, if I put some glass on the roof like this, there we go. That looks a lot brighter. And then if we set the time to day, the lights are turned off. There we go. We just saved a bit of electricity and helped global warming. Now, don't get me wrong. In an ideal world, I would have the daylight detectors up here. And if it's daytime, the entire lighthouse wouldn't do anything. It would just sit dormant. And then as soon as it turns nighttime, the redstone would start spinning, the pistons would start firing, and the lights would turn on. But I am not good enough at redstone to even figure out how to do that. Too complicated for me, I'm afraid. But there we have it. We have our lighthouse. And I've added some stone here to sort of act as, the place where the ships would crash into. But there is a problem. There are no ships. There's nothing coming to crash into this thing. And I bet that makes you think you know what's going to be next. But we're saving that for the next video. My island of upgraded builds is looking a bit empty. But don't worry, because I plan on doing a lot more videos on this series. And as always, if there's anything you think I should add to the existing builds that I've done, let me know in the comments, and I will be doing a video in the future where I go through and add all of your suggestions, because I think that'll be pretty fun. But one thing that looks very out of place is this gate, because originally this was the end of the island, and now it's just smack in the middle. This is one of the oldest gates that I could find in Minecraft, and this is the upgraded version I did of it. But now I found something to add to this gate. And honestly, I just pasted it in, and it kind of fits perfectly with the old gate. As in, exactly perfectly. This might have actually been the same builder, because that is perfect. This is the oldest castle tower in Minecraft. And there we go, I've added it to each side. But now I need to upgrade these towers and add them to my wall here. So first things first, I'll throw it onto the end. And there we go. We have quite a lot of work to do because this is kind of ugly. And obviously, first things first, we need to get rid of the stone. And there we go. And even with just making it stone brick, it already looks 10 million times better. If you didn't see the last video, by the way, this gate opens like this. So I can't really change anything on the inside because it's all redstoned up. So we're going to have to work around that, which means my staircase is going to end quite prematurely, which is annoying. I've also realized that this isn't symmetrical because this is 4 wide and this is 5 wide, which kind of just makes it seem a bit offset, if you see what I mean. So we're definitely going to have to fix that. There we go, symmetrical. That's much better. We'll also get rid of these torches for now because I think we can make cooler light. For example, I threw some glowstone in here, so at nighttime the walls kind of glow up like that, which I think looks quite cool. And we've used some lanterns down here. I do think that's looking a lot better already compared to, you know, this. It also gives some more room to have some chests up here so we can have some bows and arrows and stuff for, you know, castle defense. Should probably add some half slabs so you can actually see over the wall. There we go. That's looking a lot better. Now I just need to do the exact same on the other side. And there we go. If you're wondering what this is, by the way, this was a TNT cannon. Emphasis on the was. Because in my first video of this series, it kind of broke and blew up. At some point, I'm going to fix it with a new TNT cannon. But until then, it kind of looks like a toilet. I'm going to add some campfires into the corners here. Because I think that might look pretty sweet. Oh, yeah. That looks cool. If I was like an invading army coming to destroy my creeper with a hammer, then I would not want to cross this gate. Now I just need to make the entire tower look a bit more aesthetically pleasing, because at the moment it's a bit blocky. Just experimenting with some stone brick wall here as well. I think it might help the entire thing look a bit less flat. And there we go. This is my upgraded castle. This is my upgraded castle tower. Or castle towers, I should say. I think a pretty good upgrade from the original, if I say so myself. And remember, leave any suggestions down below in the comments, and I will get round to them in another video. I've also added this wooden structure on top, just so I can have some lanterns. Now, I don't really know how old this next build is, because as far as I'm aware, dinosaurs went extinct a long time before Minecraft came out. So obviously we're going to have to upgrade it to show what dinosaurs are like in modern day. And for that, all we need is some grey wool. Because whilst this dinosaur might be the last of its kind, modern day dinosaurs look a lot more bony. But this dinosaur was built in 2013, and I honestly think it's pretty cool. Small builds are always a lot harder to get the detail in, because obviously you have less blocks to work with. But I think this does look pretty detailed. I like it a lot. Also, one of you pointed out in my last video that I should really turn this into ancient debris instead of just quartz, which makes a lot of sense. And I will do that in the video where I upgrade your suggestions. Anyway, to get started with this guy, we're going to literally copy his outline, but with grey wool. You might not understand where we're going with this yet, but hopefully you will soon if I get it right. Guess this will be his right leg. So that's his pinky toe. Do dinosaurs have toes? I think so. Okay, so this is meant to be the dinosaur's knee. I then spent absolutely ages just trying to get the body outline right, and I started on the head. Oh, okay. It's sort of taking form. It might not look it now, but like, it's looking like more of a head. Actually, no. You know what? I can sort of see where this might be going, which is impressive because I never thought that would happen. At the moment though, it's looking a bit too full. I will need to skeletonify it somehow. You know what? I see a bit of a T-Rex shaping up here. Don't know if I'm speaking too soon. This was the hardest thing I've ever built, I think. And it took me absolutely ages, but he's looking a bit... I don't know what he's looking. This is by far the hardest thing I've ever built. Obviously, there's not much competition. I mean, that was very easy to build. That was kind of difficult, but pretty simple, all in all. But this is really hard. I'm struggling to even picture a T-Rex skeleton right now. His body is nowhere near wide enough either. Oh, I've really messed this up. He has one leg kind of further back. He's got the right leg. I'm gonna have to do the left leg. Hopefully that won't cause too many issues. You know what? This isn't actually looking terrible right now. You can sort of see where I'm at. The head's okay at the moment as well. I just need to hollow this out as much as I can. I don't know about you, but I'm actually kind of proud of this at the moment. Like I've said in the other videos, I'm really not that good at building, but I like to think I'm slowly improving with every video I do on this series. So let me know what you think. Any sort of feedback or tips, you know, it would be greatly appreciated. Sort of rib cage of the dinosaur is gonna have to be like vertical, right? So like sort of like that, but probably not as big. It's not looking that bad. I don't mind it right now. Now, the bottom of the ribs is going to be a bit difficult. Obviously, the dinosaur spine is at the top, so that can sort of stay. But the bottom needs to sort of connect just before the spine hits. Wow. I did not expect it to be looking that good. It's not great, don't get me wrong. It's definitely not great. Great is not a word I would use to describe it, but it's not bad. I'm struggling to think of a way to do the tail, because I can't really picture how T-Rex tails look. I'm gonna try this for now. That doesn't look bad either. What's going on? I'm kind of just placing blocks and they don't look terrible. I have no idea what a pelvic bone looks like on a dinosaur, but I don't really think anyone does, to be honest. So I'm really gonna have to improvise here. That is not bad for my first ever dinosaur. The legs are a bit stumpy. Oh, wait, T-Rexes have arms. I guess that'll do. Does that look like a T-Rex arm? Sure. After a painstakingly long process, I think I've done as much as I can. At least for now. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you my upgraded T-Rex. I really don't think it looks that bad. I think there's definitely areas that I could probably improve on, like the neck, but I don't really know what a neck looks like in skeleton form. I guess it's more like this. I did not do biology past GCSE. There we go. That looks a little better. My modern day T-Rex, because obviously, you know, they don't exist anymore. So this is all we have left. I consider this upgraded. Now, I really don't like how the biggest thing we have is this troll face. So we're going to throw in a little bonus build into this video. Originally, I was only going to do 5, but I kind of want to make something that's big. So this massive L can stop being the tallest thing that I've built. And I think we're going to do it in this corner here. This is one of the oldest skeleton builds I can find in Minecraft. It was made in 2012, and yeah. I think this is meant to be an arrow, although it kind of looks like a shovel. And all in all, I just think we can definitely make this better. I've gone and picked out a load of different white blocks in Minecraft, because this guy only had access to white wool back in the day, I presume. And it looks a bit one-dimensional in terms of the color. So we want to get this lined up with this guy here. Okay, this is where we're going to start. This is one leg. And we'll put the other leg here. We'll actually use white concrete because it looks a bit more bone-colored. What we're going to do is make the basic outline of the skeleton, and then we're going to go and decorate it. And I guess we'll just start building up. That looks about high enough for the legs, and now we have to do that all around. Okay, that's 24 high. Now, skeletons have like a weird pelvic bone. Oh, he's on fire. Well, anyway, as you can see, they have a bit of a weird pelvic bone here. So, all right, you can go now, skeleton. So we need to recreate that with our build. Now, the reason I've done this 24 high is because if I was to do 1 pixel for 1 block, then the skeleton should I have legs that are 12 high. But I'm basically doubling the dimensions of a skeleton here, which means this needs to be 4 high. There we go. Wait, that's only 3 high. Okay, there we go. 4 high. Now, obviously, skeletons don't really have a body. They sort of just have a rib. In fact, to make this easier, let's just make a little skeleton enclosure here so I can actually look at him. So I've done the legs and the pelvic bone right so far in terms of the shape, and I'll figure out the dimensions because that'll be boring to watch. So here's the bit that goes inwards, which should link to the spine. Basically, every 4 blocks I place like that is 1 pixel on the skeleton. So then this should go up by 20 if my maths was right after staring at that skeleton. Okay, that should be the spine done. And then the ribs should just come out like this. And I think they just come to the front of the body. And there... No! Oh, he despawned. Damn. It'd also make a lot more sense, actually, if I turn the walls to glass. Then he can be a proper test subject. Although we'll call him Phil, because we want to be nice. Thank you, Phil, for letting me observe your body. So yeah, the ribs line up with the front of the body. Cool, thank you. He just nodded at me. Now his arms kind of start at the top of his rib cage. And they should go down to the bottom of his pelvis. And I need to do that a lot more. And there we go. So now we just need to bring the rib cage together for the chest. Okay, that's not looking bad. And then the head, which should sort of fit in this frame here, if I've got my maths correct. And it should go 16 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And I just need to fill this entire thing in, which I'll do now. And there we go. That's our skeleton outline. And from looking at Phil's beautiful face earlier, I can see that the mouth goes here, and his eyes are literally just 2 above. I think they... He looks so dopey like that. I think they're 1 pixel wide that way. There we go. And for this, we'll just use some grey wool. And then his nose... we'll use some light grey wool, like that. But of course, he does look extremely untextured right now. I mean... he looks a fair bit better than this guy, I won't lie. And talking of the arrow, we probably should give him one. And this isn't any ordinary arrow. This is like the beefiest arrow you've seen in your life, apparently. And there we go. I'll just throw some different color wood in for a bit of texture. Actually, looking at this, he had a black tip, so maybe we'll join him with that. I bet you've never heard of a netherite arrow. There we go. Now, back to the skeleton. What? How was he despawned? He had a name tag on. What? Oh well. I took some pictures on my phone, luckily, of Phil, RIP. And using these different white blocks here, I'm just going to try and texture him as best as I can. Whatever I do on one side, I have to do on the other as well. So this could be quite a long process if I don't get it right. You know what? This is going to drag out for far too long. So, with the power of editing, here is my complete skeleton. It took a bit longer than I hoped it would. But honestly, I kind of just looked at the pictures of Phil and then used the pixel pattern on him to just place the blocks that looked like they should go there, if that makes sense. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. It wasn't really difficult though, because like I said, it was a lot of copying. So I still think that build was harder for me. But compared to this little fella, I think he looks like a dad. He looks like a dad skeleton. And you know what? I don't think he's fully complete yet. Do you know why? Because he didn't have his bow. I won't lie, I did find someone else's bow build and then I sort of just copied it exactly and put it in the skeleton's arm. But hey, it looks good. And that is our skeleton upgraded. And would you look at that, it's taller than the L. Mission accomplished. Now we're back to the bridge. And I still haven't really figured out a way to get an elegant way down here. I did build a staircase, but it kind of looked ugly. So what we're going to do now is build a bit of an archway going over here to give it some structural support. We could build big beams going down here, but you know, if you've watched the news recently, boats don't really agree with those. First things first though, we're going to get rid of all these torches. So I'm from England, and a bridge such as the London Tower Bridge would have a big tower here and a big tower here, and then it swoops down and meets in the middle. So I think that's what we're going to do. first we need to find the middle point. So that's going to be fun. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is the middle of the bridge. And now I want to build a bit of a tower on either side. And I'm not sure what color block to use. I actually think the cherry planks might look pretty cool here. But yet again, stone brick does have a lot more utility and variation in blocks. So maybe we'll just stick with the stone brick. Now, this doesn't have to look great for now. I just want to get a sort of rough height. Then we just need to make these bars connect in a nice looking way. I hate placing these because you have such a small area to place them. Okay, I think that works. Make this 5 as well. If we just build something here. Okay, that's not looking too bad. So this is what I have so far after a lot of stone placing. And I don't think it looks bad, but I really just don't think it suits the colors that we have going on here. So we're going to try some different textures. Let me know what you think. So obviously stone brick first, polished black stone, quartz brick mixed with polished deep slate, or completely polished deep slate. Personally, I think this might be my favorite. So I guess we'll go with that for now. Then I'm just going to replace the corners here with quartz pillar instead. Now I'm just going to expand the metal so it's actually holding up the bridge. And I'm going to add some light at the bottom so, you know, things don't crash into it. Here's my bridge so far. Honestly, I really don't like it that much. But I really don't know what to do. I'm kind of stuck. So please leave your suggestions below and I will try and make this better. I've honestly been trying to upgrade this bridge for about an hour and I just can't make it look how I want it to look in my head. It seems like I was not ready for the task of the bridge. Not yet, anyway. After doing some final touches, I was finally semi-happy with how the bridge was looking. It's not great by any means, but I honestly think that's all my brain can handle right now. This next build is the multi-purpose house, and we'll take a look inside to see what these purposes are. So this is just the basic first floor, bed, crafting bench, chests, all that stuff. Seems to be a cactus farm on the second floor. And then on this floor, we have melon, pumpkin, and wheat and sugarcane. And then on the roof, we have trees. It's quite a cute design. Okay, so these cactuses have holes in the wood above them, I think. So basically, they can grow up one block. And then I guess you break the bottom one to get the one above when it grows. And then the water brings it down here. Okay, in that case, it's not that bad. And you know what? I'm going to keep these 3 floors exactly the same. But I am going to get rid of the top floor. And what we're going to do is just carry on the design that they've got right now. Because Minecraft has added a lot more different plants and functions and stuff. So we can make this multi-purpose house have even more purposes. And there we go, there's another floor added. And now I've added a few more floors. Now we just need to think of ways to make each of these floors useful. So we've already got cactus, melon, pumpkin, sugarcane, and wheat. And we have 5 more floors to fill up, excluding the roof because that's going to be for trees. I think for the first floor, we're just going to expand on the whole farming aspect. There's a lot more types of plant that have been added to the game since 2011 when this map was made. Now, one of the issues I have here is that for the cactus level, they've only used a too high wall, which means they've had room to place the dirt there. But if I go up here, place the dirt here, it kind of looks ugly from down below. But if I cover this area in slabs, then you won't be able to see the dirt from below. Then I can fill this with water. How's that happened? And then if I do another layer of slabs here, this can be the beetroot, this can be the potato, and this can be the carrots. This can just be more wheat. Okay, that's one of the floors complete. Now for this floor, we're just going to segment it off like this and have a few animals on each side. What are you doing up there, cow? Okay, so we have a little pig area, cow area, sheep area, and a couple of chickens. This is extremely inhumane farming conditions, by the way. Don't report me to the authorities, thank you. Might think of a way to spruce it up a bit in here, make it a bit less boring for the animals. We have 3 more floors to go, and I really want this area to be an enchantment room. Well, that's this side of the room sorted. Got myself a neat little sword from it too. But that does leave this side of the room, and I think I know what to do with it. There we go. And I'll cover this with slabs to hide the obsidian. And we'll add some doors so any mobs that come through the portal can't get in here. I know I've built it weird, by the way, but I just kind of wanted it symmetrical. And that's another floor done for now. Now, I have 2 floors left that have nothing on. But I'm going to leave the ideas for that up to you. Like I mentioned earlier, in all my other videos in this mini-series, I've asked you how to upgrade the builds that I've done. I'm going to make a video where I implement them all into the builds that I've done. So I'm going to leave these 2 floors up to you. Let me know what you think I should build in each one. There's not much room, so you might have to get a bit creative. And I'll pick 2 of my favorites to put into the video. And we're left with the final floor. I'm going to extend the roof by 1 and then fill all this with grass. I think that looks pretty cute. And that's the multi-purpose house given a few extra purposes. Remember to leave your comments below for these 2 rooms. And finally, I cannot end the video without sorting the staircase for this bridge. So after a lot of playing around, I finally think I got a design that both blended my new addition of quartz with the original oak wood. And here it is. So you just go down here, down here, down here, and there we go. It looks okay. Maybe a bit unsafe on this edge here. And I'm going to add a viewing platform here and some fences that look like structural support. Whilst I do think I am improving at building, like with this dinosaur for example, it doesn't look great, but I don't think I could have even imagined where to begin a few weeks ago. I am still falling short in some areas, like this bridge. It has too much contrast, it doesn't mesh very well. But as my land of upgraded builds grows, I'm determined to get better and better. So, this is the old Twitter logo. Even older than the last Twitter logo, which was the bird. This one was basically the OG. But obviously, Twitter isn't Twitter anymore. It's X. Which sounds really wrong to say. But anyway, we're upgrading old builds. And this one is old. But it's not very interesting, so going from the old Twitter logo into the X logo, which is annoyingly hard to do because it's got so many slanted edges. But you get the vibe for what we're going to be doing today. I'm actually really excited to upgrade our next map because it's called My First House. And it's exactly that. It's literally a guy's first house on Minecraft, and you can really tell. He's even got the massive pillar so he can see where his house is from a distance. But I figured that this guy's first house could use a bit of a revamp. Everything's just stone and very basic. He's got his nether portal in this room here, which is, you know, it's pretty cool actually. A ladder that goes down to, I guess, the mine. I think there's quite a lot we could do to upgrade this place, to be honest. We're going to start by just getting rid of this dirt tower. I then placed a few paths and sort of greened up the entire front of the house. Okay, I think this bit's looking better already. We'll put a couple of boats in here as well. And so far, we've just sort of terraformed the front so it looks a bit nicer. And now for the house itself. Now, when I upgrade these builds, I do want to try and keep a similar shape. So I don't want to completely destroy everything, basically, and rebuild it. And they've used a lot of torches around here. But now we can have something like this lamp here, which just looks a bit nicer than loads of torches spammed around. For the nether portal, I'm just going to put some netherrack coming out like this, so it sort of looks like it's leaking, if that makes sense. And we'll put some nether materials on the outside as well. And then honestly, we're just going to cover everything with nether slabs. And then we're just going to replace the stone with stone bricks, because I always think stone bricks just look so much cooler. But because it's like a nether base, we will make it look pretty worn down. And here's what we've turned it into. I haven't changed the shape or anything. I've just added the slabs on top and then replaced the stone with some stone brick and, you know, cracked and mossy, blah, blah, blah. I've kind of gone for a vibe that it looks like a cave where they've sort of built the portal and then it's leaking into the world. So that's the nether area done, and now we're going to go into the main house. But whilst I think of some ideas about what we can do, let's look at some of the quicker builds I can do. This is a troll face, and some of you might not actually be old enough to remember this era of the internet, but basically, a troll face was exactly that. The face people put online when they were trolling people. But it doesn't really exist today, which made me wonder, what is the modern version of a troll face? And honestly, there was only one thing that I could really think of. The thing that will get spammed in Twitter replies, YouTube comments, Instagram comments, and everything else. That looks so dumb. But honestly, yeah, it's hard to see a post on Twitter or Instagram these days where there won't just be a big L in the comment. And honestly, this might be a bit of an L build. It looks kind of dumb. There we go. I fixed it up a bit, and yeah. The modern day troll face is an L. I found this next build on Planet Minecraft when I was filtering by oldest to newest. So this is one of the oldest pieces of pixel art I've ever seen. And it's just a creeper face. The description of this is kind of cute. It's the guy saying, only doing the face for now, though I may someday make a body. It may have turned out better with the texture pack, however, I think it's alright. Just a shame there's no light green block. Well, now we have light green blocks, as you can see from my creeper I made in the last video over there. So we're definitely going to improve on that. And also, I kind of want to give him a body. But I do like the creeper being in the ground. And I think I have an idea to really honor this guy's old build. So I've made a hole where the creeper mosaic used to be. And what we're going to do is use this creeper head from my Santa creeper thing with the hammer. And I'm just going to paste it here for now. And I'm just going to copy the mouth onto the head, basically. And there we go. And now we've put the creeper head into the hole. And you might be wondering, why? What's the point of that? Well, I'm going to build him some arms, so it kind of makes it look like he's crawling out of the ground. It's going to use green wool for now, just so I can get the shape sorted. Okay, so now I just need to go around and decorate this a bit. So that's one of his arms stretching out the ground. And I've put a bit of dirt around to make it look like he sort of broke through. But then now I need the other arm to sort of make it look like he's climbing out, which I have no idea how I'm going to do without it looking dumb. And this took me absolutely ages, as you can see. And there we go. We've turned the old creeper mosaic into a creeper that's struggling to get out of the ground. He might not have a full body down there, but, you know, he's got arms, sort of. This one's still a bit wonky. But hey, he's been underground. Maybe he broke his arm or something, I don't know. Now, I've been thinking about our little house over here. And I kind of realized he's built his house into a cliff. So whilst I initially was going to turn it into just a normal house, I'm actually going to play on that idea and just kind of hide it a bit better so it still looks like a cliff. These railroads don't actually go anywhere, so we don't really need them at the moment. Because he does have an entire mine shaft below the house, which we'll have a look at later. And because this map was made in 2011, a lot of the new blocks weren't in the game, so I figured we'd sort of scatter them around in the stone. I figured we would just extend the grass a bit, just so it looks a bit more blended in. As well as using black stained glass, which again, acts as a bit more camouflage, I feel. Because the whole point of a cave base is discreet, right? I mean, obviously this isn't very discreet, but you know what I mean. Again, there's torches literally everywhere. Oh, he was really torch happy, wasn't he? And I just found his ender portal room, which we can make look better pretty quickly. I'm gonna have amethyst here, just because I really like how it sounds when you walk on it. It doesn't really look aesthetically great, but oh well. I'm right above the portal, we're just gonna have some glowstone. And I feel like we just have some end stone. And we are actually just gonna raise the roof by one as well, because it's pretty cramped in here. There we go, that looks pretty neat. I'm going to take the eyes out as well and put them in item frames around here. There we go. And then for good measure, we'll just fill this up with lava. As well as some black terracotta, just to make it look a bit more scary. There we go, this is the end room. It's looking pretty neat. And no one is any the wiser. Now, I can't get in here because the door keeps shutting on me, so I'm going to have to destroy that for now. It just looks like there's a ladder that goes to the railway tracks. These don't actually lead anywhere because I just copy and pasted it. So there's not much point of actually using these, but I still want to honor his old build. So what we're going to do is just destroy all of this. So instead of the ladder, we're just going to build a soul sand water elevator, which we do like this. Turn all the water into source blocks. Okay, and then we just put a soul sand here. Boom. There we go. And then here, we'll just do the opposite. Put the water there. Put down the kelp. And then put a magma block. There we go. So now we can go up. And we can go down. Obviously, this mine shaft is sort of pointless at this point, but I just thought an elevator was cooler than a ladder. And then I guess we need to redecorate this room a bit because it's pretty ugly. And we'll literally just go for stone because we don't have much room to work with anyway. Yeah, again, if it's going down to like a mine shaft, maybe we should do some sort of wood. And we'll put a crafting bench in the wall as well. We'll just put a button here. to open it this way. So it still looks extremely basic, which, you know, trying to keep to the theme. But we've just added a little elevator here. Also got the end room, which I like the end room. It's pretty neat. Maybe we could put some rods here as well. We have some sort of chest room here. How much room do we have? I think we have quite a bit of room. And there we go. Pretty basic, but I kind of like it. In fact, actually, what we could do, just to make it a tiny bit cooler. So there should be... That's kind of neat. Look at that. I'm really bad at redstone, so I'm kind of proud of that. I don't think double chests were added in this version, so we can instantly just double his overall storage. And again, I think I kind of want to go with the dark oak planks. And we'll go with the stone floor, because, you know, cave. And we might as well extend the stone brick all the way. It also has iron doors everywhere but here, so we might as well add them here as well. We might as well add some of the new utilities like a smoker and a couple of blast furnaces as well. Not looking too bad. And he can have his map here, even though I've not filled any of it out. And I don't really plan on doing that either. And we'll also have his armor stand with his saw next to it. Cool, that's the storage room done. There are so many random ladders and mines going down, and they're all sort of pointless, so I think I'm just going to block all these off. Although this is the bedroom, that's kind of important. So I'll definitely come back and do something with this. He even has a skylight, that's kind of cute. We can definitely make something cool here. But whilst I contemplate how to finish this off, let's go do another build. This was built in 2011, and I think it's pretty cute. But the sad thing is, no one really cares about diamonds anymore in Minecraft. Netherite's where it's at now. So to modernize this one, I'm just gonna make a netherite block and change the pickaxe as well. Luckily, I think they've made it pretty easy for me on this one. Is that what a netherite pickaxe looks like? But upon extensive research, I kind of realized that netherite pickaxes don't have wooden handles. Honestly, I've tried to recreate the image of like the actual pickaxe using similar colors, but I think I preferred my version where it was just kind of netherite. So I'm going to go back to that. And now we turn the diamond door block into a nether quartz block. Might not be my proudest one. We'll maybe come back to that later. If you have any ideas for how to fix this, let me know. Now, to finish this off, I realized I kind of wanted to keep it looking stone. I've already changed a lot of the little rooms. I kind of want the main bit just to look the same, you know? The main reason being, can you remember your first Minecraft house? This is probably better than what it was. I think mine probably looked like this. Only joking. It actually probably looked like this though. I vividly remember building stuff like that. But no, I never fell to the lows of building a dirt house. So yeah, you know, I had some class. I have windows. So I bet whoever built this was kind of impressed with what he did. And I kind of don't want to ruin that for him. Because God, Minecraft was so much simpler back in the day. I mean, look at all these blocks. Look how many there are. Look at them all. Like, what the hell? All the blocks that were in the game back in 2011 are probably in this room. So I sort of feel like I'd be defacing history if I changed anything too much. What I will do though is change the bedroom because no one can sleep with this many torches, okay? Like, that's silly. I will put this carpet down and this bed here, and I will put a jukebox in the corner too, as well as a couple of bookshelves. And then I'll just give him a little lamp here. And then I'm going to completely redo the skylight. And then everyone wants a light bedroom, so we'll just plaster the walls with birchwood and a little sofa there. And there we go, a smee-coloured floor, which kind of makes the room look hideous, and I've just sort of thrown some basic stuff about. The more I change on this, the more I realise I'm just ruining it. It needs to stay as the original. But anyway, I'll just leave it at that, because there's one more build I need to change. This guy needs no introduction, and it's one of the oldest models of Steve I found on Planet Minecraft. But the problem is, this isn't Steve's world anymore. It's mine. And as you can see, he's already transforming into me slowly. Luckily, I picked one of the easiest skins I could possibly build for my YouTube channel. So let's get into that, shall we? I just realized the eyes are actually here. There's the face, but it does go slightly lighter gray around the outside. So I'm wondering if there's anything I could use. There we go. I look a bit staticky, but I think the gray wall's too dark, so we're just gonna have to stick with it. I also do have the blue under my sort of skin. Oh my god, my head's missing. Ah! But I don't think there's anything I can actually use for that. It's important to know that I am not very good at building on this game, but I really plan on just trying to learn and improve. Like, I didn't even know how to build one of those magma block elevators. I very much played Minecraft for the survival aspect, so building sort of passed me by. So maybe I'll revisit this little guy in the future, so it makes it look like more of a arm, I guess. So as this world of old builds continues to grow, hopefully my skills will as well. One of the main reasons I love doing this is just to see how much the game has evolved, and also how creative people were when they had limited blocks to work with. It's annoying because I seem to have forgotten the pink on the top of my body, but luckily we can just put a carpet around here so it doesn't affect the sides by placing a block. And there we go. We've replaced Steve with me. Definitely not as iconic as Steve, but there we go. There's 6 builds upgraded in total in today's video. The troll face to the L, which very lazy. The netherite pickaxe, someone's first ever house, me, and the creeper coming out the ground. And I just found this build from 2011, and I thought it'd be kind of cool if we did this, but a bit more lava themed. And there we go. Don't judge me for using World Edit, okay? I was really proud of this build, and I want to use it again. Leave me alone. And to start, we can just fill this with lava. Not sure if this will burn the creeper. Hopefully not. Okay, it burnt the creeper. It burnt the creeper. So it turns out I had filled this creeper head with TNT. Was not aware of that. Thank God for World Edit. Okay, that's not looking bad. And now what we're going to do is replace the grass with cobblestone. No! Damn, this really isn't going well for me. Oh, as if some of the TNT blew up my Facebook logo. Now the question is, how do I make this creeper come out of lava? And I think I have a solution. I'm going to replace all of the creeper material with the concrete equivalent, or the closest thing I can find to it. For example, instead of lime wool, lime concrete powder. Seems to do the job. Annoyingly, the issue that comes with using lime concrete instead of the wool is that it kind of behaves like sand, so it just kind of falls to the ground. So I've just put some glass under the arm here, and I've reinforced under the head here. So now, if I replace everything, there we go. Apart from here, I'll just do that. Now we just have to do the same with all the other colors. So, this creeper has no TNT in it, and I should, in theory, be able to put lava wherever I want with no repercussions. Nice. Okay, that's not looking bad so far. So I've replaced a lot of the dirt with the same texture as this, the stone brick, and it doesn't look great, so I think we're going to go with cobble deep slate instead. Because hey, we're upgrading the build, right? Okay, that's looking a bit better. Now for the mouth and the eyes. Okay, that looks pretty terrifying. Now I want to have some of the creeper's skin on fire. Okay, looking quite good. Okay, that's not looking bad for now. We've made a good start, and definitely an upgrade on this one. But I'll come back to that after another build. And here's a bonus upgrade that I did. I didn't really like how it turned out, so I'm not going to spend too long on it. But there's an old iPhone, and here's a new iPhone. And I added a UK plug instead of a EU or American plug. UK plugs are the best. If you've watched the previous videos, you'll remember this lighthouse. And I was kind of proud of it. We made it look a lot better than what it used to look like. But it was kind of useless until this ship. This is an abandoned ship from 2011, and it's one of the oldest ship builds I can find on Minecraft. And not only does it look old because they've put vines everywhere, but it also looks old because it's not very good. And I think we can upgrade this to be a lot better. I'm not going to do a side-by-side upgrade with this one, I'm just going to upgrade this as a whole. And then this lighthouse can hopefully steer it clear of crashing into the rocks. And obviously the first thing we need to do is replace the stone, because when have you ever seen a boat made out of stone? And I think this should do it. I don't know what this stone's for, I guess we'll get rid of that. Okay, that's already looking a lot better. This seems to be some sort of shipping container boat as well. Back then they only had wool to work with for the colors. So we'll replace that with concrete, and I think that looks a lot cooler. I also thought the containers were just a bit too big for the size of the boat, so I've made them a bit smaller. And I'm just gonna move the entire container in one as well. So, time to check the inside of the ship. We got some levers and stuff. Cool. And a bed. What's down here? Okay, and this is the furnace room, I guess? I don't know why there's so many furnaces. They all seem to be permanently burning. And we're also just gonna connect the floor because it just looks weird. I'm also going to remove the glowstone, actually. It does look cool, but they didn't have lanterns back in the day, which I just think look a lot better. And the same goes for out here. I think I can just get rid of all this. Placing all the glowstone with lanterns. Obviously, it's not a very good idea on a boat, because if a lantern breaks, then, you know, especially on a wooden boat, not going to end very well. I'm also not a big fan of the vines, so we're just going to wipe all those out. Okay, now this looks like an extremely basic ship, but it gives us a good template to work off, you know? We're going to leave this room for last because I'm not too sure what I want to do yet. So we're just going to focus on the exterior right now. I've also removed the vines because this ship needs to be moving, and you don't see many moving ships covered in vines on every single square. And one of the things I'm going to add to this ship is this massive stick here, which will both act as a watchtower and also something else. Now, I've never built anything like this before, so it might look terrible. Apologies in advance. You know what? It's not that bad. But I realized that tower's far too big, because no wind would get on the sail. I decided to make the mast a bit taller, as well as use webs to look like string. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. And I also added a little tower on top. I sort of like what I've done there. I think it would look a lot better if I had a bigger sail at the back instead of this block, but I don't really want to change the build too much. Okay, I'm just gonna spruce up the way this big block looks as well, because it just looks a bit ugly. So hopefully I can get it looking a bit nicer. Oh, hell yeah. That looks a lot cooler. So now I just need to do this all the way around. I then changed up the lifeboats, the propellers, and added an anchor. There we go. That does look pretty cool. Now, another thing I'm gonna do is destroy a hole in the ground here, put some stairs going down. Okay, we've got rid of the furnaces down here, but we are going to keep these ones here. We'll make a separate room. This can be the engine room, you know, which I think is the whole purpose of all the furnaces to begin with. I kind of like the mangrove wood too, so we're going to use that. And we will be getting rid of this glowstone as well, because it just looks weird. So this is what we've got for now. I'm going to be coming back to this because sometimes I need to take a step back and have a think about what to do next. The next build is one of the most legendary myths in all of Minecraft. And of course, I'm talking about Herobrine. But I think it's safe to say that this 2010 build of Herobrine didn't really do him justice. It's basically just a zombie, with Steve on it. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look very good, does it? So I'm going to try and use my magic to upgrade this Herobrine so he looks as menacing and evil as the stories would have you believe. God, he doesn't look very good, does he? So first things first, I'm just gonna put them next to each other so we have a reference of what not to do. And the first thing we have to do is just take his arms off because his arms don't stick out like that, okay? Okay, there's one. Wait. Sometimes I forget I have World Edit, okay? Okay, looking better already. Now to replace his weird wood head. I just realized he's had that in the wrong place. It's meant to be there. There we go. He also has brown wool for hair, which doesn't look great. Okay, there's our base model for Herobrine. And it's basically Steve, but with metal eyes at the moment. And also a bit paler. I'm also going to replace his eyes with snow blocks because they look a bit more menacing. Okay, looking good. Also going to replace some of the wool with cyan concrete. Okay, I think the t-shirt looks a lot better. I also just realized that he's wearing black trousers when it should be dark blue, right? But I don't want to change it too much, so I'm going to keep his black trousers and I'm just going to try and make them look a bit better. Okay, there's the basic body for Herobrine done, but we need this to look a lot more menacing. Now, I'm going to try and add a helmet to this. I'm not sure how it'll look, but we'll see. Okay, I think that's a pretty menacing looking Herobrine, or Herobrine, however you want to say it. I've sort of just made up a weapon here, so I took some inspiration from my creeper with the torch, and just sort of made a weird rod. Talking of inspiration. I mean, it sort of makes sense for him to have a mythical weapon when he himself is mythical. I'd say that's a pretty good upgrade, all in all. And if you're wondering why I've changed the skin tone here, because I've tried to make a bit of a shadow. I'm wondering if the frog light will look better in his eyes. That looks so dumb. Well, that's Herobrine complete. So far we've had the creeper, the ship, Herobrine, and now we have a base. What base, you ask? A Pac-Man base. And I'm not gonna lie, this looks terrible. It's not even a smooth circle. It's all over the place. The inside is pretty small, and there's some buttons for cake, cookies, and music. None of which work. Normally with the bases, we take the old one and we just upgrade it there and then. But this base is sort of beyond repair, at least to make any meaningful changes to it. So we're going to do this base side by side. And first things first is the classic Pac-Man shape. Big yellow circle. The concrete is not as bright as the wall, but it has a smoother texture, so I guess we'll go with that. Also, Pac-Man's going to be floating, because Pac-Man does float. I don't know if you've seen the movie Pixels, but he seems to float in that.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the...
And somehow, we now need to make the mouth. I won't be using World Edit for this one, because I feel like I'm going to have some element of precision. Okay, that's looking kind of Pac-Man-ish. It's taken me quite a while. He has the inside of Pac-Man's mouth as red, so I feel like that's something we need to do. And again, this might take me quite a while. Okay, pretty chuffed with that. As for the stairs, I guess we'll use bamboo because it looks the most yellow. That staircase took me way longer than it should have. Now is time for the actual base itself. I don't know how much room we have to work with in here, but I guess we'll see. Already, this is a lot bigger than the last one. We can even make some sort of basement for storage or something in here. So I've made a sphere underneath Pac-Man here, and this is going to be the little storage room. Just built this little storage room quickly. Ignore the lights, I have a weird obsession with the frog lights at the moment. Don't question it, okay? A load of shulker boxes on the floor, and just some barrels in the wall. Already a million times more storage than in the old house. And you get to that by going right to the back and down the ladder. After doing the staircase, I've realized it might be better if there was just a ladder in the middle of Pac-Man, up his bottom, in a way. That sounded really bad. But let me know what you think in the comments. If you haven't watched this series before, I ask you to leave all your improvements and suggestions in the comments below. And when I have enough on my list, I'll make a whole video just going through the comments and making those upgrades and suggestions. So do leave yours below, especially with this Pac-Man, because I can't quite figure out how to do the entrance. Okay, visually, I think this one looks better, if I say so myself. No offense to whoever made this one, of course. I'm not sure about the stairs, but there is other things that I'm not sure on as well, so I'll get to that in a second. So, you go through the door, and we've improved the cookie and cake machine to just pump out loads of... I think I've run out of cake. I have. Well, you get the idea. And then here, we just have the bedroom and the upgraded jukebox area. And then down here, we have all the shulker boxes and storage. I've basically taken the 3 fundamentals of this house, just on a bigger scale. Oops. And there's some books as well. I can definitely do one more room in Pac-Man's forehead, you know, around here. So let me know in the comments if you can think of anything, because I am stumped. I like this Pac-Man. He looks pretty cool. And I'd say that's Pac-Man base complete. I decided to revisit the lava creeper and see if I could touch it up a bit more. I've added some more lava, so it proper looks like he's reaching out. Oh, don't know about that one going into his mouth, actually. Then I'm just going to put some lava over the glass block here, actually, to hide the glass a bit. And I'll do the same here. Cool. I kind of like this. It looks really nice at nighttime as well. So now we're on to this temple, which I've been meaning to upgrade for a long time at this point, and I never really knew what to do with it. There are 3 things I want to do with this temple. Number 1 is to make it look nicer, of course. Number 2 is to put something in the middle here and make this a sort of vault. And number 3 is to add some traps to the walkway here that protect the center of the temple. And I think we'll start with number 1. Make it look nicer. I'm gonna go for like an Aztec temple look, I think, which means some gold at the top. Ooh, this isn't square. I just realized this temple isn't square. It's kind of rectangular slightly, which is quite a lot of work. But we're upgrading, so it has to be done. So that's gonna be the new center. I think I should just be able to do this. Okay, there we go. We have successfully squarified the temple. Already a huge upgrade. Okay, here we go. I like how that looks. Now the question is that too much? Doesn't look bad. That looks worse. Get rid of these torches, because no one uses torches in 2025. It's gonna fix up the ground here, so it's not floating. Okay, it's already looking a lot more grand, which is nice. I might try and replace the bit here with smooth quartz instead. I like it. In fact, I might like the entire thing like that. Yeah, I think I prefer it like this. And then it also means I can make the entire build look a bit cooler. 1, 2, stair, 1, 2, stair. Stairs just make everything look nicer, don't they? Way too many torches in here. Also, why is there so much grass on the floor? Time to get rid of that. Okay, so now I've fixed the issue of the square. I should be good to break all of this. It just occurred to me that they haven't built this centered, which is so annoying. But I want to keep this the same, so we'll have to just copy what it looks like. Okay, this was built so badly, but I have made it symmetrical. It doesn't look the best, but that's how it was, and I don't want to change literally everything. Although this is quite a cool idea. I feel like these planks look really ugly and out of place, so we're going to put some mangrove wood instead, because that's a bit more luxury looking, I think. I just thought to put some beacons in the top here and put some yellow glass over them, so that looks pretty cool. Okay, I'm pretty happy with the outside, and I don't mind the inside either, although it's kind of empty looking. Then we'll have some iron doors. I like the look of that. And we've got some heavy weighted plates here, and we'll just remove them on the inside. So then, look, you're trapped with all the treasure of a block of emeralds. Now, I'm not very good at redstone, so I cannot think of any traps to have here, apart from basic tripwire. I guess I can do that in the entrance, like that. And I guess we'll throw some poison arrows in there. Now, obviously, this isn't the most advanced redstone trap in the world. So, as always, leave your suggestions down below to what redstone traps I can have in this kind of thin corridor and just around the main treasure area of the temple. But I think we've upgraded it from what it used to look like pretty well, if you ask me. I might carry on doing some more things to it, make it look a bit less plain, maybe. But I'm pretty happy with it for now. If you're wondering what this is from a previous video I made that didn't do very well at all, despite having a huge YouTuber in it, which I just realized I'm using his skin right now. Let's just pretend that didn't happen, okay? But yeah, go watch that anyway, if that interests you. So, I'm back in the boat, and a wandering trader has decided to spawn here. And I figured the crew needs somewhere to sleep, so we'll just turn this into a bit of a crew area. And of course, they have all their weapons in here. Bit of rope and a bit of gunpowder, even though we don't have any cannons. Not bad for now. Let me know if you have any suggestions. And of course, we have the engine room here. And last but not least, I figured we should probably have our little gold stash up here, hidden away from the rest of the crew. Maybe I will add some cannons. It might add a bit more of a feel to it, because it's kind of looking a bit basic right now. But let me know what you think down below. If you've made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. This wraps up my upgrade series so far. The island is getting a bit hectic, and I don't really have any old builds to upgrade now. But it's been really fun, and who knows, maybe I'll come back to this in the future. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and again, thank you so much for watching. Peace.